Hi, I'm Yasser Kashal is in here with one other episode of Dark 30 USA. I'm with you guys. Today we're going to talk about why Greenland and Canada are very important to President Trump and for United States, why it's something was so crucial to his administration that he pointed it out even before he took the office, and he was talking about that. So he warmed up the world to let them know that, hey, get ready because we're going to have this type of conversation whenever I get to the office and I go to the White House. And prior to that, whenever he was president-elect from 6th November up to the 21st January of 2025, like in around that 2 months, we saw that he kept talking about that every time that even in Mar-a-Lago he was having like kind of like semi-press conference or something. Like he explained that he didn't explain that much, but he pointed it out. He made it clear, like, I'm looking for it. I wanted that. And of course, he pointed out he talked about a couple of reasons that why he needs those lands. And I remember even from every news outlet from America, outside of America, everyone was thinking like, oh, okay, because Trump is a businessman, so he was talking about that. He said that so people would panic. So this is how they said this is a strategy of Trump. Trump asked for 110%. So when you get 10% discount, you think, oh, what a good deal maker you are for getting 10% off. So you would get 100%. So in the beginning, he wanted 100%, but he asked for 110, 120. So after the bargaining, it would come down to 100%, exactly what he wanted in the first place. So people started to say, oh, so probably he wanted something else. So he came for 120% means Greenland and Canada already be our state, and then after that after bargaining, so he would get something else. The same thing that they said about the Gaza plan when he said we're gonna move them to the Jordan and Egypt, the Gazan people, Palestinians. So Gaza would be under our control, and then we make sure to build it like, you know, like make it like very good tourist places for so many buildings, hotels, housing, infrastructures, you know, like make it like a good place again, build it from the ground. And we are not going to give it to any country until we make sure like it is safe. And so many Arab nations, they started to object that. They said, we won't accept that. We only accept the deal is not, this is not on the table. We don't negotiate that. Only it happens if and only if Palestine, they have their own state, and East Jerusalem is the capital of Palestine. So this is what Malik bin Salman, prime minister, I guess, of Saudi Arabia, said that the future king. Basically, he does everything in Saudi Arabia and many other nations. But still, I think they're going to be a council. Those Arab nations are going to get together, and a 4th of March, if I'm not mistaken, 4th of March, they're gonna get together and talk about that next month. But anyway, like they are saying the same thing. So he wanted those Arab people to panic a little and get together and do something, come up with better offer. So he had to basically shake them to get afraid, to say, oh my God, Palestinians are being removed from the Gaza, so we better do something about that. So they are saying like he didn't mean that, he said that so he could get something better deal from Arab countries. I don't know about that part. It's very a little tricky about the Gaza. I really don't know what is his long-term plan, because it's crazy. Like I still have to see his interviews more and more. So later we would know exactly what's in her mind. But one thing that I'm for certain, at least almost sure, it's about the Greenland and Canada. It's not about negotiating. It's not like saying what's it called 50 like 120% is Greenland, taking Greenland and Canada. And then when people say, oh, but it is unrealistic, what can we do? What is the alternative? So he come up with a plan that he already had in mind. But I don't think that's the case for Greenland and Canada. I think it's 100%, and he's not going to give any discount. At first, I talk about what President Trump said and what his administration said. The reason that they need those Greenland and Canada, because it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like something like they already planned about that. They already were thinking. Like, for example, Russia, United States, they always have had beef in last 20 years. Even, I mean, let's say after Cold War, after collapse of when Soviet Union collapsed, so you could see there were still some type of beef between Russian and Americans. Of course, in George Bush, the Bush son, it got a little better. They had a better relationship, but also at the Obama's administration, it escalated. And then for Trump, still, even though the highest sanction ever in the United States was from President Trump to Russia, so it wasn't no bestie bromance between them, but at least they were not threatening. And then on Biden times, you saw like Russia-Ukraine war, and it got everything so messy. It got as intense as it could get. So you could see, like, if something happened between Russia and United States, God forbid, but if it happened, you would say, okay, well, we already saw that it coming. But about the Canada and Greenland, prior to President Trump's statement, nobody even was talking about that, was thinking about that in no university, no theorician, no theorist, no politician, no nothing, no expert, nobody even brought it up as a suggestion. It was the first time that we hear. I mean, to be honest, first time that I heard that, I thought that was a joke. But when I watched the interview itself, then I realized that no, he's not joking, he's serious. And even it took me a couple of weeks to realize that no, he's not one of those technique to ask for 120 Greenland and Canada and then break it down. It's real, he's serious. The reason that he brought it up was he said, well, look, we are paying Canada $200 billion, right? And why are we doing that? So we could save another country. If Canada is our state, I don't mind doing that. But if it is not our state, why should I get the money? Because, Trump is America first, and he's nationalist like me, and we think like first us, and if we have anything left or left over, like the food leftover, should be donated to other countries. We shouldn't skip our meal and give it to other countries. We eat our food, and when on the table or whatever is left over, we pack them and send it to others. And so he said, why should I do that if you are not my country? And that's why, like, even though President Trump was in Mar-a-Lago, that was prior to 20 inauguration, Prime Minister Trudeau came to the Florida, talked with Trump and said, please don't do that, those tariffs that you want to put on Canada. And he said, why? He said, because we're gonna collapse. We cannot tolerate that. And then he said, so how about you turn to one of my states? So that was the first time that he brought it up when he was talking with the Justin Trudeau. I think he already had it in plan. He knew that Trudeau would come, and then eventually he would bring it up, and that would be some beef between them, and then hopefully eventually Canada would fold it and accept that. The reason that America was talking about that was President Trump was mentioning was, listen, the stuff that we are buying from you is actually hurting us. For example, like look at the Detroit. It used to be a city of car manufacturing. They were building cars over there. Right now it is ghost town. And the reason is because we sold those jobs to foreign abroad countries. And so if we stop asking Canada to build us car, we can build it our home. We're going to create jobs. We're going to bring wealth in here, and everything going to be made in America. And actually asking Canada to build a car for us is killing jobs for our Americans, our citizens. And I think it's not smart, and it's not okay. And many think, yeah, of course, like Canada is giving us so much discount on the gas, on natural resources. Yeah, it's true, but the reason is because Biden, in his executive order, as soon as he took office, one of the executive order was banning Nord Stream. No, that was for Russia. That too, but that's not the conversation I have right now. Keystone Pipeline, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was the one. Gas was coming from Canada to United States and to Mexico, and then he stopped that, and 15,000 jobs were lost. And besides that, it was like we could have, or we could, like, he made it super hard with so many regulation and so many restrictions. It made it so difficult for American company to extract oil. You know, one of the slogans of Trump was drill baby drill. And Biden reversed all of them. It's like even Trump, in end of his first term, he was so close to get it done. The Alaska fracking. Yeah, they could do the fracking in Alaska, and then that would be the biggest oil company, oil reserve in United States. And Biden not only didn't start that, but even shut down those fracking ones from Texas and other places that they were already working. So in order to be a good guy, to be role model, we stop fracking oil and buy from other countries. So yeah, Canada gave us very good discount because we were paying so much now. And that's why when Trudeau or this Polivier or whoever he is, they were saying like, what about us? We did all those favor to you, but you did those favor to us because we wanted to. It wasn't like we needed you. Like if Biden said, anyway, we are buying the oil anyway, so somebody is fracking, why not us? Based on what Trump is doing right now, drill baby drill. Right now, we won't need any of those discounts, any of those good offer that Canada is offering for the natural resources. So everything that Canada is giving us with a good discount, we can have it. We can have it on our own soil and fracking in here. So those things, so Canada doesn't have any leverage. It's not like we don't have human resources to build a car factory. All we have to do, turn on the factories and then build up again the Detroit in Michigan. And also for natural resources, just only Alaska would be enough for giving oil to at least the whole country. We would be self-efficient. We would start exporting oil to the countries because it would be more than what we need inside. So all those leverages that Canada right now apparently supposedly have it's going to be demolished in very soon future, like in a couple of months when we start fracking again. We don't need Canada's those discount natural resources that they are giving us, and also those jobs that we destroyed, ruined in here to give it to Canada. So it means Canada has nothing and their hands are empty. So he said, why am I paying you to just stay alive? So either you are my state or I stop helping you. And if I stop helping you, before you try to back up on your feet, you're going to collapse, you're going to fall. So this is for Canada. So that was a President Trump argument. Why are we paying so much for Canada? It's not benefiting us. And for the Greenland, he said for the security reason. And if you look at the map, let me show them. Yeah. So do you see in here like this white big thing, like a diamond? This is Greenland, this is Canada, and this is United States. So for the Greenland, he says security purposes, because two places is very dangerous for United States. One is Greenland and one is Alaska, because from here when in winter everything is frozen, it's icy, but the ocean is icy, you can walk to Alaska. Literally, you can walk. You can drive from Russia to United States. You can drive it when it is frozen. Right. So one is Alaska is very important, crucial to make sure Russia doesn't attack from this side, and one is Greenland, because if they get to the Greenland, then it's gonna be super easy. Especially look at in here is in New York, Washington D.C. It's so easier to attack that. And also, like, how many people do you think in this large area are living in Greenland? Only 40,000. So it's just with the one slap, one spank, they're gonna be kicked out. So nothing is holding Russia back to not take over this place. It's easiest place to take over. And from here now, it is all the way, like all the side to attack United States. So in order to make sure, like at least from Russia, it is safe. At least, you know, like this is all the Russia. So if we have the Canada and Greenland, so at least we made sure, like from we have the Alaska, so we know that they cannot attack from in here. But if we have in here as well, so we know that, because yeah, from here to the here, like from this the further, closest place from Russia to United States, it's a very longer place than from Greenland to United States. So if they take over Greenland, nothing is stopping them. It can be very crucial for us. But so that is the reason. For Canada, President Trump is saying, well, why am I paying $200 billion to you? $200 billion to know that just how much it is. In last 3 years, the amount of money that we have spent on Ukraine to help their defense system was $260 billion. Like imagine, like one army defending Russia army for 3 years took $300 billion, $260 billion. But right now, only for Canada, we are paying $200 billion to let them be alive. So right now, Canadians are thinking like their country, but their country with our help. You know, vegetation life. You know, when you unplug them, they die. This is basically Canada. They are plugged in. They are in vegetation life. Like they only are alive because we plugged in our $200 billion help to them. The moment we unplug them, it's over. So this is what President Trump is saying. But I want to tell you, no, it is very deeper than that. And it's gonna get very more crazy and strange. Just be aware with me. I'm gonna tell you exactly what is going on. So this is what President Trump talked about, that like Greenland for security purposes, to make sure, like, it's because it's so easiest thing to do is take over the Greenland. For Greenland, they have all the side to attack. You know, it's so easier for them to attack United States. So we have Alaska to make sure. So we have to have all the borders that Russia can take over and get closer to us, just like what Russia is doing. Russia says we take Ukraine to make sure that they don't join the NATO. And if Ukraine join the NATO, basically you are coming into my border. The same thing that Russia is doing to Ukraine, we're gonna do to Russia. They want to make sure like we are not too close to them, so we want to make sure Russia is not too close to us. And Canada, because we are just paying so much money, and if we are America first, that money can be spent on our own people. But I'm gonna say it's way deeper than that. You know, like there is the Silk Road. Back in the day was from China coming to Persia, and from Persia going to the Europe. It was the Silk Road, also known as Belt. And right now they are saying BRI, something I have never heard that. When I was Googling, I saw that the Road Initiative, Belt and Road Initiative, right? So it is just like make a route, make a train that comes goods and products from east to west, from west to east. And because Iran is in middle of between the connector, like a belt of east, like China, and west, like Europe, So everything had to go through the Persian Empire. So now they want to have the new Silk Road, like Silk Road 2.0, and the same concept, but the only difference is back in the day there were just few empires, so it was easier. You know that, like there were only few countries, few empires, from this empire to that, from China's empire to let's say Roman Empire. It would just take two or three at maximum empire states to go through. But right now, because everything, like just like after this Cold War, like Soviet Union collapsed to so many countries, because there are now smaller countries, even Europe as well. Not because of that, there are so many more countries, there are so many players. Not all of them they are going to be so big, so crucial or important one, but there still are some players that are leading, even if they have a small role in this Silk Road, still it has to go through them. So they need them to be their ally, to let them, or not be their enemy, to to just sabotage or do some mess up with the road to destroy everything, because whole world gonna be connected to each other. So they have to. So some countries, they started to come up with their own Silk Road plan. So far we have 4 of them, and I want to show you exactly how it looks like. All right, it's taking so long. No way. Let me see if I can. So you see in here, from China go Central Asia to the Europe is one of them. One of them is coming down to the Iran, Western Asia, Persian Gulf, and they go to Mediterranean Sea. One of them is going down to South China Sea, South Pacific, and Southeast Asia, and they go to Indian Ocean, and from there just go all the way up to the Europe. This is what Israel wants. That's the Silk Road that Israel wants. And the red one is just coming down South Asia to join Indian Ocean. So you see each one in the end, from east to west, they have something in common, but the difference is some of them they are longer, some of them they are shorter. But those ones that are longer, they are safer. Those ones that are shorter, they are scarier. There's always has been a war and conflict in Persian Gulf, right? So yeah, it's gonna be way faster, but then there are gonna be some countries that they are total enemy with each other, and this Silk Road should go pass through all of them. So one of them is not gonna be happy. If they hate each other, they cannot both benefit. Like one of them, in order to hurt the other countries that it hates, would mess with this Silk Road. So the longer one or the safer one, the closer one, the more dangerous one. So you have to decide to spend more money on the shipment, but at least make sure the goods, your products get to the destination safe. Or no, like you can, if you're smart enough to make all those countries that they are in conflict with each other get allied with each other, like, and make an alliance, and then so you can make it shorter, safer, more money. But in the end of the day, this is what's gonna happen, right? So now look at those orange one that is going exactly from Central Asia to Europe, and that goes directly to the I think that's the Mongolia or Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan, and from there go to the Russia, and from Russia comes down to the Europe. And for this light blue one that is going to the South Asia, is skipping Middle East to say, okay, I don't want any conflict, and go in the Africa below the Saudi Arabia. So that's why Saudi Arabia is welcome so much. I think, I'm not saying like Mohammed bin Salman is implanted, but I believe like it was part of the plan. Okay, now come change the look of the Saudi Arabia, bring so many celebrities. Same for the Emirates. So these countries are more accepted. People understand. People trust that. So you're gonna be one of us. So that's the plan I think the West has for Middle East, to make them all safe, all like a mini Europe, basically. And from there it goes up again to the Europe, as you can see, right? Even the green one, which is so scary one, it goes through the Iran and then go Persian Gulf and Mediterranean Sea. That only works if Iran says, okay, no conflict, no nothing, I'm in the game. But again, like those close one, the green one is the closest, safer, closest one, most profitable one, but most risky one. So we have to see like if the countries can convince Iran to play the factor. I think Iran, with the financial problem they are dealing with, I believe like this is what they want as well. I don't think there's so much disagreement with this part. But like in here you can also see, like you see this blue one is going and this is the orange one, new Silk Road, right? So now in the end of the day, what they are common, they all have in common is what? Is one is going from up, one is going down, but in the end of the day from China to the Europe. So did you see that? So get used to it. Okay, now I want to take you to again back viewer. So this is what I think the real reason behind the Greenland and Canada, that President Trump wants that and he's determined to take that. So it's way deeper than just security purposes or like Canada money deficit, all those stuff. It can be solved as well, but I think the real reason is, well, I hope you can see my mouse in here that I am moving. So this is the Russia, and this is the Europe, this is the Middle East, this is Africa, South America, Australia, and this is Southeast Asia, and that's China, right? So from here, it's gonna go either, anyway. Either it goes from south, from India goes down to Africa, below the Saudi Arabia, goes all the way up Mediterranean Sea, gets there. Either it's this one, or it goes from top, just China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, or I think Mongolia is one of these countries on above the Iran, goes and they go to the Russia, and from Russia just go down to the Europe. Either way, in the end, the destination is Europe. Because mostly we get the product from China, you know, they make the cheaper version of what we want to have, mostly for the West, or vice versa, right? So if China start that Silk Road, it goes all the way to the Europe, to the West, from east to the West, right? It is United States in here. I mean, when I flew from Germany to United States, it took me 9 hours flight, right? So basically we are out of this game. We are out. It's gonna strengthen the relationship between Southeast Asia, or China, Asia, East Asia, and also Middle East and Europe. Well, Southeast Asia, in case that Silk Road goes better. Europe, only Asia, Middle East, Europe, if it goes the higher one. But Middle Eastern wants to make sure it goes through them, and Russia said, why? Just send it through me, I send it to Europe. But right now, so United States, like with the Ukraine, we have this chance to say, well, you see, you cannot trust Russia. So you cannot take it from them. But anyway, on each way, up, down, or middle, they go their destination, the end point, the dead end, it's gonna be Europe. And we are here. We are so far from the Europe. So what's gonna happen? You know, there is a channel tunnel between France and northern part of France and southern of England. You know, in south of England and north of France, there's a, like here, this area. There is a tunnel under sea, really, like a train, subway undersea, underwater. And it goes from, like, you get to the train, you go underwater, and from France you go, and then when you come to the surface, you are in England, right? So something like that can happen. Or in the worst case scenario, the shipment can happen from here. So it doesn't have to go from the euro, from let's say the most west part of the Europe is what? Spain and Portugal. From Spain and Portugal all the way with the shipping here. Like it is possible, it is happening right now, but the thing is, if China finds a way and say, guys, why am I just shipping through the ocean to you? On ground, it's going to be way safer for us, right? It's going to be way safer, it's going to be way faster, and it's going to be way cheaper. Everything, if you compare the train with the ship, of course the train is way safer. Everything is easier and better and faster and safer and cheaper. So there is no advantage through water. But if that's the case, we're going to be isolated. So if China can replace Silk Road over the shipping method, then we are out. Then we Americans are out. So the best thing we can do is says, all right, if all of you guys decide to be in land, so I have to move myself. I have to drag myself to be as close as possible to you guys. That's why we need Greenland. Greenland, Canada. If we have Canada, we don't have Greenland, it doesn't work for us. If we have Greenland, we don't have Canada, it still doesn't work for us. It only works for us to be a player in this new Silk Road, in the new belt from China, either from to Southeast Asia, to the Africa, to the Mediterranean Sea, or from Middle East, or even from the north, Russia, to the Europe, anywhere from east to the west. We are other side of the map. The only way that we could be part of this plan is if we drag ourselves closer to them. And it only happens if we have the Canada and Greenland. So if there is the Silk Road, that it's gonna be, just it's a matter of which one, which there are 4 of them that often. When it happens, the end point is in Europe, and from Europe to the Greenland, it's way easier for us to be part of the game. And from there to the New York, let's say, to the Canada or New York, or to the New York or Canada, to the United States or Canada, anyway, each one. So if we have all of them, it would be easier for us to be part of this game. Because from here, it goes all the way in here, and it would take 9 hours. Now we have to pay so much to bring those in here, while it is very cheaper for others. You know, like now we are out of the game. Now we are not going to win. Others are winning, others are saving money, others are growing, and they're going to outpace us if we just stay out and watch it. So we need to buy the Greenland to say, hey, we are close. We are almost there, right? You know, so from, like, let's say from the England to us, if Greenland is part of us, hopefully, inshallah, makes way more sense to commit to it, because from there, then it is getting to the shore. It's our shore. We have it. Okay, we can do whatever we want with the Greenland. You know, we could do stuff. But if because it's gonna be from one of our states to another state, that's totally different story from one country to our country, because now they can use the leverage and say, okay, now we want to charge you that much. Well, you might say, well, isn't it like hasn't it been like that forever? Yes, but because all countries, they were doing that. As long as all countries, they are going through sea methods, like using the shipment movement, like a method, like a shipping stuff through plane or ships or, you know, cargos, that would make sense. That would work for us, because as long as it applies to all of us. But if right now all the countries, they are doing it on the ground, and us, we are other side of the world, they're gonna charge us extra, we're gonna be out of the game. We have to force ourselves to say, hey, can we play too? Can we get? And all the advantages gonna be on those countries that are on the belt, and for people like us that are other side of the world, we have to just watch. So the only way that it would make sense to us is to get the Greenland, to get as close as possible to this belt, to this new Silk Belt, because the endpoint is in Europe, and when it stops in Europe, then from there to the Greenland is way shorter. then from there to the United States, or even Canada. So if we have Canada and Greenland, basically by getting Greenland and Canada, we are dragging us, we are moving us, we are pushing us all the way as much as we can closer to this new Silk Road. So we are not other side of the, we are in the game. We are not other side of the map to just beg people to send us something and charge us as much as they want. So we could get some benefit of that Silk Road. The only way that it would work out is just if we do this. We could be basically with this, we are bringing us closer to this new Silk Road that whoever is part of it's gonna get money, and us, it's gonna be very difficult for us, to be honest with you. If we stay America with the border that we have right now, we're gonna be left out. And I think for that reason, I think that's actually a brilliant idea from President Trump to do that, because that's the future. Like some people believe in that, some people don't. But if you look closely, all countries accepted that. The new world order is that, it's here. And just the countries are trying to find their allies and try to do their best to be part of that Silk Road. So many people, I mean, there are conspiracy theory or whatever, they are saying like Gaza basically was on the belt, in one of these 4 belts, on the belts to go to the Mediterranean and then go to the Europe. And so for that reason, I believe we should do that. We have to be quick, because in next 5 years, it's going to be till 2030. It's going to be crazy. All the countries, they are doing their best to be a good player. And us as America, we don't want to lose our power. We want to stay at top of the food chain. And in order to do that, we have to play a role in this Silk Road. Plus, now that we want to be America first, we want to create everything in South America. Now we can ship them through the Greenland easier and faster to the Silk Road, instead of how many days it's going to take to go from United States to gets off the shore, go through the ocean, and then land, and then get to the land to do in the Europe, basically. But if it is the distance between Greenland and Europe is way shorter than between Europe and United States, and if we get the Greenland, it would be easier. And one other thing is like it's no force, it's not occupation. Canada can make a decision, like they want to collapse or they want to be part of our states. We are not going to help them anymore. And why it happened? Well, the reason is obvious. You know, good cop, bad cop. I will talk about that in one separate episode about the conspiracy theory. But I believe the Democrats come and with a smile, they make countries addicted to United States, right? So they change the infrastructures, they're building their economic based on the America's help. So eventually you give them free drug. Whenever they are addicted, you say, now it's time to pay up. But they say, well, I thought it was free. I said, did I tell you ever that I'm going to give you free forever? So we give you free until you're addicted, then you have to pay. But since you're addicted, you do whatever in order to just survive, because you're addicted. And then now we can make a very good deal with you, right? So I think the good cop, bad cop routine, I will explain separately in a different episode about the evidence that I believe like it was all part of the plan in last 50 years. So the good cop, the Democrats with a smile, they would come and then talk, oh, let us take care of you. And eventually they would get lazy and they would say, get used to it. And whenever it happened, their economy got addicted, dependent on US economy. And then the bad cop, us, Republican, right-wingers, we come to the game and say, oh, whoa, where are we going here? No, you have to pay up. No free anything anymore. But then they say, well, but always we have been friends with you. So yeah, always we have helped you as well. So the game has changed. It's a new set of rules. And because the economy gets dependent on us, they're addicted to us. Now we said no free drug anymore. Now you have to pay up. And now we say, oh, you have the nice watch, you have nice house, you have nice car. Now we take everything only because they're addicted to us. Without us, they're gonna die. Right. And same thing happened to the Canada, because I'm Muslim. As long as it's not haram, then it's halal. I know that it doesn't mean that in Islam, it doesn't mean everything is halal just because it's not haram. But if it is, I'm not forbidden to do that, so why not? This is what we did with Canada. We made them busy with so many social justices, all these activities, like those activists, those left-wing woke ideology. We push them, so the money that they could spend on their infrastructures and on their economy, they spend on those stuff. Why? Because we were backing them up, we helping them their economic run. Now that we are saying, oh, none of them matters anymore, give us some money, and now they don't have money because the money they could have spent on themselves, they spend on some stuff that we push those agenda to them. And now we say you have to be our states. And we didn't do anything wrong. They always had the choice to not do that and just focus on their own country. They decided to be lazy, and we took advantage of that. We didn't force anybody, we didn't deceive anybody. This is the choice. Like, you offer, they accept. And for the Greenland, when you look at the people in the Greenland, like people in Denmark, they say they are Danish. But go look at those on Google. Go look at those people who are living, those 30,000 in Greenland, and compare to people from the Denmark. They totally are different. They are not people. People in Greenland more look like Mongolian people. They look like North Korean or something. They look like Kyrgyzstan, like people from Kazakhstan. Those people. They don't look like European. They don't look like Swedish, Danish, or Norwegian. They just don't. They just don't. Like, they are not blonde, blue eyes, white people. They all really look like Mongolian people. Nothing against that. Like, I don't. But I'm saying they don't look like that. When you say they are Danish, why don't they look like you? All people from Denmark, they look like each other, but these people don't have anything. So you pick some people from other places and then you house them in the Greenland, and you say that's your country. Plus, even Denmark is not real owner of that. Basically, it's like a big brother to the Greenland. Greenland doesn't have any honor, basically. Just because 40,000 people from other side of the world, they came in here and they are living there, it doesn't make them true honor. It's not like a real country, Greenland. If you didn't know, like, it's not like Greenland is not a real country. Like you say, oh, we have just thousands of people are living there. They called it Greenland, which is not green afterward anyway. So it just shows that how fake it is, that even the name of the country doesn't describe the land at all, because it's not green. Whatever it is, it's not green. It should be Iceland is green, Greenland is icy. It's so funny, but not funny anymore because we are after them. So the laugh is and joke is over. We are going after them. So I believe they don't even look like European. They don't look like Danish people. They don't look like Swedish. They don't look like Nordic countries, people who are living in Nordic countries. So they look like Mongolian people, and that's okay. They're not nothing. Still, we're gonna go there, talk with the people, and say, listen, you're gonna be part of us, and listen. They love that. Canadian people, they love that. Nothing against Canadian people. It's against the Trudeau regime. And Greenlandish people, they love that. So yeah, but what has Denmark done to you? Nothing. But what do you know? Do you know what we're going to do? Those people who are living there, they're going to be millionaire or billionaire over there, because it's their land. And actually, there's a crucial point for this Silk Road that we say. Either they sell it to the government, or one investor come and they're going to be millionaire. They're going to live in a mansion instead of living in that cold place. But or they stay there and they get a portion of that. So either way, you're going to be winner in this. It's going to be win-win for all of us. So for that reason, I think we have to do that, and that's a real reason behind that. We need the Greenland and Canada. We need both, not one of them, both of them. If we get one of them, not the other one, it doesn't work out for us. And for that reason, I think we should do that, and that's a very brilliant idea. And I guess now or never. If we don't do that, we're gonna just sit back and watch next 50 years, because all these countries, they got get together through the Silk Road, and we just have to watch. And while we are using the classic method, shipping method, they are just using the train, faster, easier, safer, cheaper. We have to be part of it, because shipping from Europe to the Greenland, it's way easier, faster from the Europe to the United States. We have to do that. So that's my opinion. I would like to know your opinion as well, and I hope to see you next time. Like always, as above, so below.